Icy Hot Pro with 2 max strength pain relievers. Targets multiple pain receptors. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
War Eagle, and welcome to another episode of Ever to Podcast. This is our regular audio show where we get together with you and catch you up on the latest Auburn news, scuttlebutt, discussions, things that you need to be aware of in the Auburn experience. That Auburn experience to us is all about a few things: Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff. If it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us. And what we're going to be doing today, episode 47 of Ever to Podcast. Today's date is August 1st, 2025. I hope you guys are having a great start to your August already, whenever you're listening to this the day it came out, or if you're catching up with all these episodes that we put out throughout the week for you on your particular weekend. I'm your host, as always, Kyle Loomis. Today, we're going to catch you up on some news today in regards to just general athletics talk. It's going to cover a little bit of War Eagle Plus, August 1st, in terms of recruiting, just reorganizing of the whole world of college athletics. We're going to talk about the women's golf schedule and give you the things that you need to know about a professional football player of the Auburn Tiger flavor that had a great night last night in Hall of Fame game. All that coming up here right now. First, let me address this. Obviously, we have been talking about how often these episodes for this particular podcast series is going to come out. Is normally on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. This one came out on a Friday because there was just enough things that I wanted to get together with you all in a special extra episode this week to make sure that we didn't get behind on news, because I'm sure there will be plenty of things happening this weekend that we'll have to catch up on Monday. So that's why we're here today, a special episode. This is a great reason why you should always be subscribed and have notifications set for this to all on whatever platform you're on, to make sure you're not missing out or getting behind on your podcast episodes for anything that we put out here. So let's jump into it today. We're going to start off with kind of a big nebulous topic. It's going to encompass a bunch of different things. As I said, War Eagle Plus, this August 1st date, reorganizing of On to Victory. Right now, we are sitting in what some would call a tumultuous time in the Auburn experience and in college athletics. It's wild out there. It is the Wild West. I've had a lot of people asking my opinions about what do I feel about this aspect of that. And I'm like, guys, this is changing so much. I don't know that I've really fleshed out what my opinion is of it all right now. I'm just trying to take it all in and figure it out along the way with the rest of you guys. But let's talk about some of the things that we do know in regards to this. Let's start with today. August 1st is a big day for people because it's been reported a lot in terms of with litigation that came in terms of the whole pay-for-play, quote-unquote, NIL issues. This was the day that you could officially start putting out offers to recruits and actually have monetary value, real monetary value attached to them. Anything before that was perceived to be illegal in some way. You know, some people have said that Auburn may have chosen the wrong path in trying to be very cautious in this regard, and others just kind of flew by the seat of their pants and offered things before. And I'm not really sure where I land in all that, how much I believe in all that in terms of what was or wasn't done right. What we do know is today, and they've been posting about it all today on social media, that in regards to offers going out to kids that with actual monetary values attached to it through the university, that is, as of today, we've already seen people and current commits for Auburn's 2025 or 2026 commit class already talking about they've got their official offers in hand right now. Whether that is monetary or not, or how much that is, we don't know, but it's taking place today. So that's one aspect of today in this whole NIL changing world. The next thing is this aspect, and this was shared by Justin Hokanson, and maybe other places as well, but this is where I'm referencing it. This was an email that was sent out to On to Victory members in regards to acknowledging that sent for a couple of days and weeks now, there's been this announcement that the On to Victory platform would be merged under the Auburn Sports Properties banner, effectively being managed by Auburn Athletics itself. And obviously that's been something that's known. They officially just talked to their members today. If you're part of that, maybe you already know this. that it's under that banner. It doesn't look like really anything's changing for that particular On to Victory membership round. In fact, they're encouraging you to consider going up a level in your membership. So that tells me that everything's secure there. It's just transitioning over to that leadership. That's from the board of directors, something that maybe many of you are already aware of, but I think it's another little cog in the wheel of this ever change of NIL and college athletics. We see those major collectives that finally organize themselves being drawn into the umbrella of the athletics complex and finally finding their home in a sense, how they're going to be managed, what they're going to be doing, how they're going to be looked over, all that kind of stuff. So that is transpiring today as well. And then there's this bigger thing that I wanted to discuss today, and this is really what made me want to have this episode today. War Eagle Plus has announced their all-new platform. Now, it looks like the exact same thing, except that they've kind of reorganized, expanded, and now given you tiers in terms of your War Eagle Plus experience. This is all going under that Playfly management. That's where they're kind of helping make this a little bit better to help with supporting college athletics and NIL. See how this is all connected right here. So War Eagle Plus is still the same. You can still get in for the basic $14.99 per month. That's going to get you the access to, the content network, discounted concessions pricing at all athletic events. It says on this graphic that they've released. So $14.99, I don't think really much has changed there. But now you're going to have different abilities to go to different levels for different perks. And I'm not going to go through all of them here, but the next one is $24 a month and gets you some extra, obviously gets you what you got at the basic, and then Heisman at $34, Thatch at $88 per month. This is all per month, by the way. Magnolia is a big jump up to $210 per month, and then the biggest one, Sanford, is $1,000 per month. So there's a graphic released online by auburntigers.com and War Eagle Plus's social media site. So I would highly recommend that you go look at that to see if maybe you do want some more of those benefits that are out there. Obviously, you get the benefits of the lower each time you go up. But this is another way that we're seeing NIL change the landscape of not just sports, not just recruiting, not just collectives, but even the content and how they're going to utilize that to help finance a lot of these things that are coming with the NIL models that are out there and how you can be successful in your attracting of collegiate talent. So hope that wasn't too confusing, but there was a lot of stuff that just started coalescing together that I felt like we needed to talk about it. All right, some other news for you today. I want to give you the women's golf schedule next and let you just be aware of what's going on. I won't give you the full details here because it is a lot to read, and I know y'all don't want me just to basically regurgitate that over and over and over again because, let's be honest, that would be pretty boring here. But I do want to give you a perspective of what to expect. If you'll remember, golf schedules, they go throughout pretty much the whole year. Fall, they take a little bit of a break in the winter and come back in for major in the spring, where they end up in conference championships, NCAA regionals, and NCAA championships. Their first match will be in Charleston, South Carolina, September 8th and 9th. So that's when they'll get kicked off. And the last thing will be May 22nd through 27th out in Carlsbad, California, for the NCAA championships, as the men and women always go out there. At least lately they do. So that's the kind of bookends there. But as I said, throughout September, October, then they'll take a break, January, February, March, April, and it'll just run basically the entirety of that spring semester almost. So you're looking at some good opportunities for Auburn fans to come out and see Coach Llewellyn and the ladies participate in all of these events. There's a ton in South Carolina, it looks like. Canada, they'll be playing this year. Illinois. These are notes for all of you in the different parts of the Auburn family. North Carolina, Hawaii, Orlando, Florida, Melbourne, Florida, Hilton Head, South Carolina a lot, Aiken, South Carolina, Fort Worth, Texas. Here's a really good one for people that are closer to the Auburn region, Georgia State Invitational at Johns Creek, Georgia, which is just north of Atlanta. That's a good one for you to come out and support the ladies. So that gives you a perspective of what to expect this season. We've already talked about the men's tournament, the men's schedule and tournaments on a previous episode of this and on the Auburn Experience, so make sure you check that out. And finally, I want to bring up a cool note last night. This is where I love sports start churning up. And yes, this is more about the NFL, but we're relating it back to a former Auburn Tiger. You'll know that the Chargers drafted Auburn's best wide receiver last year, KeAndre Lambert-Smith. And I think a lot of people had hoped he'd go a little bit higher, but it looks like he found a really nice spot. I've been asked a lot, how do I think he would do? I just don't know the Chargers well enough to know how they're going to utilize him. I think last night you saw that. The Hall of Fame game for the NFL, it's like the first game that's played every year in the preseason, and boy, did he have a great night. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's like the best night that anybody ever has, but KLS, KeAndre Lambert-Smith, got 2 catches for 43 yards, and one of those was a touchdown. The first catch was a nice, I won't call it a bomb, but it was a long pass that was just dropped in nicely to him for a very nice catch on the sideline to kind of get everybody's eyes opened about him. And then right over the middle in the red zone, he makes a catch, makes a few moves and speeds into the end zone for a touchdown. That was a really great way for KeAndre Lambert-Smith to show the Chargers what they are getting and to remind the Auburn family of how much we're going to miss having him. I so wish we could have had him for one more year, because he was just one of the best transfers I think Auburn has picked up during this whole transfer portal era. But that's just a preview of what things we may be updating you on. That was a fun thing with the Hall of Fame game in the NFL and KeAndre Lambert-Smith last night. There you go. That was your special episode of Ever to Podcast, catching you up on a lot of news that just started transpiring over the last 24 hours leading up to this Friday midday. Thank you guys for listening. As always, we want to remind you to hit us up on social media in the DMs if you ever want to talk to us about anything, suggest anything, ask questions. Also, email is available to you, e2cnetwork@gmail.com. And as always, I do want to invite you to join us Sunday night, 9 Eastern time, for the Auburn Experience live recording podcast for you, episode 136. We'll have a Q&A after we record that at 9 Eastern time on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with us today and listening to us and being part of the Auburn Experience. Till we talk to you again, War Eagle.